Welcome back, everybody, to TB Sports 27, and you may very well be tuning in to the very, very final half of football for the first season of the Washington Commanders. You can see we're not even close to the playoff picture. We are sitting at 8-7. I mean, there's a shot that if we win and one of those teams like the Cardinals lose. Now, Dallas, we split the series, so I don't know how those tiebreakers work out, but it is all looking not so good. So we have not made a quarterback change just yet. We're going to see what happens in this opening drive. But if it does not go well, if the struggles continue for J.P. Lossman, I mean, it's the end of the season. Why not let Mr. Huard have a couple of reps out there and see what happens? T.O. as well was trying to close in on the all-time single-season wide receiver yards record. We'll see at the end of this one how it turns out, but it has been that kind of a game, and it's been that kind of month here for the Washington Commanders. And J.P. Lossman, again, just, boy, could just, you know, yeah, it's been like that, you know, no protection. And, you know, when it rains, it pours, as they say in this one. And right now, it is raining and it is pouring for Mr. Lossman. And he's going to eat another sack once again. James Atkins this time. And yeah, obviously there's some of it you can put on J.P. Lossman, but the amount of shots, the amount of hits that he has taken the last couple of weeks, it's just been terrible from this offensive line. And once again, he had pressure breathing down his neck, but on just a desperation heave, Terrell Owens is going to outrun Rodney Harrison, and there it is. That's the record.
Terrell Owens is going to make the catch. Right there, but that's only the beginning. Look at him.
That is the single season NFL record.
He fights for every inch he can get out there, so you don't leave any danger.
There it is.
Him and the end zone. He's got it. The old record was 1,848 yards, and now he's the sole owner of that part of the history book. What a season.
Now, little asterisk next to that, because that is the record for Jerry Rice as of 2005. Obviously, that record had since been broken by Calvin Johnson and a few other wide receivers. We're going to see, though. Maybe we can break Calvin Johnson's record. J.P. Lossman might have just saved his week here and allowed him to stay in this game, because there was murmurs of a benching of J.P. Lossman. But with that heave on 3rd and long, and Terrell Owens has the record for 2005, which, you know, that's one positive spin you can put on what's been a somewhat sad season here for the Washington Commanders. That you'll remember this as the year when T.O. broke the record, and on a year where we have really struggled at times to move the football and even struggled with quarterbacks, the fact that T.O. set the single-season wide receiver record with two quarterbacks that struggled as much as they did this year, that's pretty outstanding. That's pretty incredible. So we're going to see if he can get the all-time record. Now, that's the record for this game. That's the record for 2005, but he's got to get just past 1,900. Let me get the official Rolodex pulled up here. What's the NFL receiving yards single season record? Just had to ask Google Speak. So Jerry Rice's record was just broken right there. Julio Jones, Cooper Kupp, and Calvin Johnson are ahead. The record is 1,964. T.O. is obviously at 1,848 and beyond. So that all-time record could be within the grasp. And, you know, I'll say this, Cooper Kupp, not to take anything away from Cooper Kupp, because I am a Eastern Washington fan. That's my favorite FCS team. Yes, Floridian is my favorite FCS team is Eastern Washington, but I'm a Boise fan, and I like the blue field, and I like the red field. Cooper Kupp, he did it in a 17-game season, where a lot of these other records, Jerry Rice, you know, Julio Jones, Calvin Johnson, that was a 16-game season. So again, not taking anything away from Cooper Kupp, but you even see like Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill on this list for 2022. They had an extra game to do some damage. So just throwing that one out there that T.O. is doing it here as well, much like Jerry Rice, Calvin Johnson, and all that. But meanwhile, in the meantime, in between time, we're going to look at all those records after this game. It's going to be the next episode for those of you watching on YouTube. But after this game, we're going to look at all the season stats. We'll simulate through the playoffs, assuming we don't make it. And we'll see what our Super Bowl game is going to be. And the next time we stream with you guys, we're going to have a look at that picture. Look at that Eli Manning picture. What's with that collar? Half blue, half red? That's wild. We're going to do our Super Bowl watch party, and we are going to do the Pro Bowl as well. Throwing that out there for other Maddens. It'd be cool if we can do a Super Bowl watch party every year. But they, well, I guess to be fair, the only reason we can do it here is because we're controlling every team. But I don't know. Let that be a feature. You should be able to watch any game you want to watch. You should be able to play any game you want to play. It's a video game. Don't restrict it. Eli Manning, what a drive. And that big name on the back can only be one man, TJ Hushmanzada.
TJ Hushmanzada reels in the catch despite being covered by two defenders. Dan, I guess you just can't be.
You know, one thing that's interesting, you don't really see too many names on back of jerseys that are kind of have that same font as the numbers. Like the Vikings have purple with gold trim. A lot of teams are just doing the all white or the all black. You don't really see the name on back have that unique trim anymore. But TJ Hushmanzada, that was a crazy drive to kind of silence a little bit of the comeback that Washington thought they were going to pull off. Single season record was set. If you want to see how it was done, all the videos up right now on YouTube or on Patreon, depending on how you want to watch it. If you want to watch them in short bursts, if you want to watch them in full speed, either way, you can check it out how you want to see it. Shout out and a big thank you to our Patreon supporters. As always, thank you guys for helping keep this channel alive, and thank you guys for your continued support of TV Sports 27. Junior Seau trying to get his big paws on that one to knock it away. Incomplete. You got to think eyes are going to be locked in on Terrell Owens, trying to get him the all-time receiving record. He's got the 2K5 record, and that's twice that J.P. Lossman's watched his pass get batted away and was locked into Terrell Owens on that pass. Quickly now, it's 3rd and 10 for the young rookie quarterback here. Lossman out of the pocket is going to go for Terrell Owens. Oh, what a play on the move for J.P. Lossman. Commander fans, the passionate Commander fans. Look at this. JP does not have the best throw on the move. 193 for Owens, but that was a good one. He delivered that one. Lossman is picked off. Second time today. Intercepted by Keon Carpenter. Yep, there's some frustrated fans right there.
Nice job picking off the pass there. He's got it, and he gets a little more with that nice little run back.
Well, that's their second interception of the game. And
interceptions definitely started to pile up for J.P. Lossman here down this losing streak, which obviously turnovers are going to amount to that sort of thing.
they'll start this drive at their own 27-yard line. Brown goes in motion. carries it past.
Hand off to Deuce McAllister. He's going to pick up 4 yards on that run.
Deuce McAllister is bullying it up the middle with moderate success. I think he needs to vary it up a little.
Nothing too terribly impressive yet. I think that Ahmad Green game we had, we took on the Cleveland Browns, that was like one of our worst performances in trying to stop the run.
McAllister loses 2, and that brings up 3rd down.
Anthony Simmons was a one-man wrecking crew back there. He powered into the backfield and made the tackle.
He's got
3rd
7
down.
tackles so far.
3rd down for the Minnesota Vikings. Manning. It is a 1st down, Minnesota. I know it seems sacrilegious to see that 84 out there in Minnesota purple. TJ Hushmanzada.
Incredible catch.
A beautiful pickup, Peter. Everyone on the offense is happy about that play.
Definitely a great call by the offensive coordinator.
And it will be a 1st down. McAllister chews up 4 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down. Second down from the shotgun.
Manning. Oh, I mean, come on, defense. Like, that was just pathetic. That was just Eli. Just here, I got to get rid of this one, and I have no idea where Anthony Simmons was thinking about running on that one. That's the end of the 3rd quarter, guys, and the Washington Commanders season. The fans still trying to rally the team. You would think going against a 5-win squad that we would come into this one with a little bit more energy. We had some excitement in this one. I mean, this will always be known as the day when Terrell Owens set the single-season NFL receiving yard record. Is he even on the list? Let me look at this list again. Is T.O. even in the top 20? He is not. Wow. That's a... I'm gonna look up some Terrell Owens stats while we're getting through this one here. He's 50 years old right now. I mean, they're just... Eli's just all over the field.
Eli Manning makes a
All right, career stats.
in double coverage here. Wow. Now that
He had 1,000 yards in 98, 1,400 in 2000, 1,400 in 2001, 1,300 in 2002, 1,100, 1,200, 1,100, 1,300, and 1,000. So the most he ever had was just shy of 1,500 in 2000. Man, people forget that he played in Buffalo and Cincinnati. But, I mean, he had an 800-yard season in Buffalo and a 900-yard season in Cincinnati, which is really close to what he did in Dallas, which was a 1,000-yard season, a 1,000-yard season. Like, I mean, the years, and people always talk about what he did in Philly. He only had one 1,000-yard season in Philly, and... Yeah, Minnesota touchdown.
Crashes through the opposition there on a key play.
It's crazy. He only spent 2 years with the Eagles.
Here's the point after, and it's good.
And he's with Dallas for 3 years, and the Buffalo, and then Cincinnati.
There's the signal, and
Spent some time with the Seahawks, but didn't get into any action there. Played with the Allen Wranglers of the Indoor Football League.
For a touchback.
All right, man. Cool. Okay, let's do this. Let's do it.
The Redskins were intercepted last time out. We'll see what happens here.
He had 10 touchdowns.
20-yard line.
with the Wranglers there. All right, well, maybe we can tee us some more number. Oh, Lossman. I mean, he's going to get killed out there.
Sean Ellis forced the offense back a few yards with a terrific sack in the backfield back there.
That will be
You hear the boo, that one fan booing out there.
Been simply relentless so far.
Dan, they haven't let up all game, and that's what you want. Somebody who's mobile and never stops.
Lossman throws it deep down the
Wow,
line.
what a big throw from J.P. Lossman there, under duress.
The 38. It will be first down. First down from the on.
And you guys watch that fan-controlled football league? I like random small football leagues, but that was one I've not quite gotten into.
And a whole lot more.
Keon Carpenter eventually gets there, but I don't know why he even bothered. Big gain, and they'll move the chains. Well, he eventually stops them, but way past the marker, that one's gonna hurt.
The defense gives up the first
They got
down.
Johnny Manziel. I mean, they got some solid names, but
First down.
Look at that, over 200 yards. Can anybody
I don't know. Yeah, I haven't been able to get into it.
Lossman
You know me, Mr. Spring Football League here. But and they obviously got some big names. You know, T.O. Manziel, Marshawn Lynch involved as well, but
be happy with that. Sometimes the ball bounces your way, and
maybe it's just the names. I don't know. The names are a little strange. Let me know. Have you gotten into the fan-controlled league? Oh my goodness. Well, there's Marvin Harrison. I think we go ahead. I mean, I don't put that one entirely on J.P. Lossman, but it's definitely, I think we put Mr. Damon Huard in there just to round out this season. 3 picks for J.P. Lossman here, and I think that may basically seal it that we got to go back to Mark Bolger next season, assuming he's going to be back. Now, the computer controls all the front office stuff, so it's going to be kind of computer controlled what happens in that regard. But assuming both guys come back, I think you got to go with Mark Bolger, because JP really let it get away down the stretch.
Up 8 yards on the play.
Third and 1, Minnesota Vikings. Eli Manning has been lights out in this game here today. What a way to end what a season that at one point, I mean, look at that. That's pretty rare for our defense. I know we're suffering through a lot of injuries, but for a team that's got 5 wins on the year, that's a little embarrassing. That's rough. That is not good. Hurt. Minnesota is content to try to let most of this clock wind out. They're going to run it well here. I mean, they're going to cost themselves some real estate in the draft coming up. There's a first-round projected tight end. Maybe we got our eyes on because we need some tight end help. Yeah, they're gonna raise up. They got a backup in now. Another purple number 4. Is it Brett Favre? No, I don't even know who their backup is, to be quite honest with you. But they have gone backup against us. Boy, it can't get much worse than this. To end the game, end the season. You know, you had a brief glimmer of maybe we can make the postseason, but 4 consecutive losses is gonna do us in. That is Sean King. Man, that's a throwback there. Buccaneers, NFC Championship.
Third down with the tight end right.
But yeah, 4 consecutive losses to end the season here. The Cowboys game, that was an interesting one because we were certainly within reach of maybe making a heck of a comeback, and then the 49ers and Eagles ones were pretty close. This one though, I mean, you can tell the team just emotionally exhausted. Excitement for T.O. I mean, when it's all said and done, you're going to look at the fact that we're getting ready to put our 3rd-string quarterback out on the field. And this is in the same season where Terrell Owens set the single-season NFL record for receiving yards. Like, how does any of that make sense that we're down to our 3rd-string quarterback based on injuries and performance, and T.O. had the greatest wide receiver season in the history of pro football?
Down on the field. As soon as we hear anything, we'll be
Steve Foley, hate to see people get injured down the stretch here, but it is it's going to be Damon Huard that comes in for the last couple of throws, and maybe T.O. can add here. That was a pretty nice throw. That was Jabbar Gaffney who just, or actually Rod Johnson, who actually, he kind of got quiet down. Don't look at this, man. There is frustrations on the sideline in Washington. Things are getting uncomfortable right now. Terrell Owens is going to drop one as well. And there's still hope for T.O. for the all-time record here.
3rd down, 10 yards to go.
And maybe Damon Huard can complete a pass. We'll see. Play action fake. And Huard to T.O. for the 1st down.
They get the first on 3rd and long. The Redskins take
Commanders, we're going to take a timeout. Why not? T.O., look at this. 231 yards. 16 times we threw the ball T.O.'s way. Why the heck not? Huard and Gaffney. Gaffney's had a bad case of a lot of the guys have had a bad case of the drops. It is rain. It is raining. It's raining out there. It's raining, men. Hell, but it's not raining points. It's not raining Commanders victories. Huard, another completed pass out to Terrell Owens. Putting T.O. over 250 receiving yards. Huard caught by Johnson. Are you kidding me? Timeout called for the Commanders.
1st down, and this is the 7th play of the drive.
How about Damon Huard coming off the bench and leading this drive? That one was just I want to get the ball to Terrell Owens, see what he can do with it.
And he made sure the only one to touch the football was him.
A nice defensive play.
I don't think we're going to have a Damon Huard quarterback controversy despite this impressive drive here. That was a broken play. That was supposed to be a pass. I must have hit the wrong button. So we're just that's what we're gonna call it. We're gonna call it a broken play.
Nice job eliminating any forward progress on that play. That will bring up 3rd and long. Wright makes a play on this, and
Wright knocks it away. So 4th down, 4th and goal, as the Commanders season about to end with a whimper here. Maybe we can end it with a touchdown. But obviously, super disappointing way to end the season. And Terrell Owens will come down with a touchdown. He's going to add a few more yards. And he may actually be very, very close to the all-time record, which is Calvin Johnson.
Incredible catch.
That's his 2nd TD reception, and obviously
T.O. finishes with 11 catches, 259 yards. Obviously, he's feeling frustration as well for what a season he's had and the fact that we couldn't get past 8 wins. We'll finish at 500. We'll finish at 8-8. So it's not a losing season, but
they're setting up for the onside kick.
Morton Anderson onside kick. Recovered by the Vikings. They'll kneel it down. So what we're going to do, guys, we are going to say thank you so much for your support. This series is not over just yet, though. What's going to happen here? They're going to take a knee. Chris Berman is going to go through Week 17. He's going to go through this game. He's going to go through Week 17. And then next time on TV Sports 27, we're going to go through all the stats. We're going to see if T.O. broke the all-time record. We're going to see who was the best quarterback this year. We're going to simulate through the playoffs, do all the NFL prime times, and we're going to see who is going to the Super Bowl. Then next time on TV Sports 27, we are going to have a Super Bowl watch party, and we're going to play the Pro Bowl. So don't miss it, guys. TV Sports 27, don't forget. Follow on Twitch, subscribe, Patreon, Streamlabs, all the stuff so you don't miss a second of the action. Chris Berman is going to wrap this one up and then come on back for the stats and playoff road to the Super Bowl here on 2K5.
Okay, Dan, thank you very much. And let's welcome all of you back to the studio. I'm Chris Berman here to bring you our ESPN Video Games post-game wrap-up. The Vikings stepped it up for sure, putting up some good numbers. Let's get started in this one early in the third quarter. Terrell Owens was definitely a key as he was able to work his way open for a big one here. An 84-yard touchdown for the Redskins. The Redskins climb back into the game, now down by 7. The Vikes trying to answer back. The Vikings in control at the 19-yard line. Eli Manning would drop back and deliver a strike on this one. An 18-yard touchdown for the Vikings. Skins losing by 14. Keon Carpenter was in the right place at the right time, as his interception was a possible momentum shifter. The Vikes have it off an interception. Ace, Deuce, and plenty of use McAllister would get the carry here. Good blocking up front. It helped us bring him. A 10-yard touchdown for the Vikings. Vikes ahead, 28-7. Rodney Harris shows some great awareness here as he gets himself into position to pick this one off. This time at the 34-yard line, Damon Huard would find his target on this one. A 27-yard play that set up a Redskin touchdown. And that's where we'll leave this one. Vikes win this one, 28-14. Now let's check in with our player of the game, a guy who made one big-time catch after another to help seal the win for his team. Troy Brown was kind enough to give us a moment of his time, and he's on the field with Susie Collins. Susie?
Thank you, Chris. You showed your mettle, and you were instrumental in helping your team snag the win. What do you think was the critical factor in getting the W?
Man, to be honest, we just believed in each other, and we believed in what we're trying to do as a team. Man, fortune smiled upon us, and we were able to triumph in the end.
Back to you, Chris.
Thanks for tuning into ESPN.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Chris Berman. Let's get straight to the action. In our first game this week, we had the Bills walk away with a 6-point victory. The Dolphins won this contest, but will stay at the third place in the AFC East. Lee Evans stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. In a long-standing NFC rivalry, we had the Panthers pick up their 8th win of the year. Vikings, Redskins. Terrell Owens was definitely a key as he was able to work his way open for a big one here. The Vikings win this one by the final score of 28-14. Jake the Snake Plummer threw for 250-plus yards and helped his Colts beat the Broncos. Up in the Pacific Northwest in Seattle, the city by the Sound, we had the Seahawks drop this one by 17. Down in Nashville, we had the Titans narrowly coming out on top by 5. The Chiefs' defense held their opponents to under 100 rushing yards in their win at Qualcomm Stadium. The Jets lost their last game of the season on the road. The Patriots won this contest, but will stay at the second place in the AFC East. Michael Clayton had a stellar game, but all said and done, his performance wasn't enough to lift his team to a victory. In a long-standing NFC rivalry, we had the Packers pick up their 8th win of the year. Dante Hall pulled down 100-plus receiving yards and helped his Cardinals beat the Buccaneers. We had a big injury in this one, and Trey has the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Boomer, thanks. This week had some big injuries, and we'll get to all of them. But we're going to start right here. Kenoy Kennedy sticks out on this list as one of the more costly injuries. It's a broken hand, and the doctors are saying he'll be out for the rest of the season. Now, on to even bigger news, as you may have already heard. Marcus Stroud is done for the year, as he'll watch the rest of the season from the sidelines. And they'll be scrambling now to find someone that can fill his shoes. So that'll do it for now. Boomer, back to you.
On the east side of the bay in Oakland, we had the Raiders come away with a brutal 18-point victory. And in our final game, we had the Bengals come away victorious.
All right, Chris, thanks. All right, folks, our playoff picture has now been officially finalized. So let's take a look at it now, shall we? We'll begin with a look at the AFC. Meanwhile, let's take a look at how things stand over in the NFC. So there you have it, the regular season now in the books. Time to see which of these 12 teams will emerge as Super Bowl champs. We'll get it started for you on ESPN next weekend. And that'll do it from here. Chris, let's send it back over to you.
And then there were 12, the playoffs, right around the corner, which means it's time for our regular season awards. But first, my primetime players. The final round of game balls go to these Warriors, each with a standout performance in the final game of the regular season. All right, as promised, here's a look at this year's best of the best, our season-ending NFL award. Michael Vick, without a doubt, is going to take home the hardware in this one. You see the numbers on your screen, but numbers really don't tell the whole story. Leadership, work ethic, love of the game, that's what truly makes him stand out. He had, without question, the best year of anyone. Dante Culpepper has got to be our choice for Offensive Player of the Year, and you've got to be hard-pressed to find better numbers than that. Obviously, give a lot of credit to the rest of the offense, but this is the guy that was driving the car, so to speak. Lawyers in Love Malloy gets the nod as our Defensive Player of the Year, and I'll tell you what, there was no one better at taking quarterbacks and receivers alike completely out of their game. Great season. Eli Manning comes away with the Offensive Rookie of the Year award. You know, it's very difficult to come straight from college. He handed the keys to an NFL offense, but he stepped in and did a bang-up job. Watch out. He's only going to get better with age. DJ Williams was our Defensive Rookie of the Year. Hard to think of any young linebacker with better instincts for the football than he has. He wins it in a landslide. Stephen Davis ran away with the rushing title this year. Talk about a threat out of the backfield, my friends. Finesse, speed, a surprising amount of power, which he used to bowl over the few who actually managed to lay a finger on him. What a year. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.